So they'll be calling you a radical. This is an important historic video. I don't care if it gets 6 views. James Carville peak, it fucking stinks. You can blame one person for all this. All this. James Carville. Let me explain. Who absolutely ruined this country and destroyed James Carville? James Carville's fucking peak, it stinks. This nuclear bill, and people don't even know what's in the bill, how it got snuck through. You read even the Hill's reporting it, but they don't even. And I did the earlier video, and I says, well, they found out that Markey from Massachusetts, I love that guy, voted against it. Only 2 senators voted against it. And I said, well, it's got to be Bernie. It's being reported now, Bernie. And oh yeah, the extension of Price Anderson for decades, 4 of them, 40 years is in there. I've been so emotional. When they voted on it last night, I watched the vote as much as I could on my phone. I was so upset, couldn't sleep all night. I want to say this to Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie. He's the best politician in my lifetime, by far. Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we fear no evil. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Jesus. He really does. I mean, there's so many similarities. I've said this for years. Carville's pink, it stinks. So the bill is the most evil bill in the history of Congress by far. It reminds me a lot of right after 9/11, the vote to invade Iraq and Afghanistan when they were Saudi imperialists. And she stood up. I love her. The congresswoman from California, the only one. Record this in history. Bernie voted against this. Ed Markey, the only 2. 88-2. 10 abstained. But that's still not standing up. This is the most evil fucking... And they masqueraded in the firefighter bill. You know, the heroism. It's the most evil, corrupt, chicken shit fucking thing. So I got to tell this story. I was at the Bernie Sanders rally and the Trump rally in Salt Lake the same day. As you know, battling AML leukemia. As you know, I got sick in 2011, given 2 months to live. I made Fox News that day. Trump, you're going to talk about FUKUSHIMA. I'm yelling at Bernie on the stage. You're going to talk, you know. Stood in line for all. I got home. I got right here to Smith's, which is Kroger's ruined. And I got out of the car, and I'll never forget it. It's like, oh, fuck, something hit me. I said, I'll never forget it. Weber State was playing the tournament that year. That day. And I was like, oh, fuck. That's when my heart started to fail. It was a monarch butterfly. I hope the camera caught it. Just now, I was right there within feet getting some gas in my beater. And I look over and there's a guy about my age, and he's got a leukemia awareness shirt with a great big... I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I walk over to him. And I says, just like this, and I says, I'm an AML leukemia at Geneva. I'm a 1% survivor. He says, yeah, I'm an AML leukemia survivor. How long? He says, I made it. My last round of chemo, I had 5 heavy fucking rounds of chemo, was just about a year ago. Did you go to LDS? Yeah. I said, so did you get a bone marrow transplant? No. I said, you know, I'm one of the first. There's only 2 of us in the history of LDS who, in those days, 2011, and of course Brian Morris, who got the rounds of chemo and decided not to have a transplant. He said, what's your name? I says, Kevin Blanch. He says, every single nurse down there, every freaking daughter told me about you. Said, you're the pioneer. You're the one that set the stage for now that we do some of the rounds without it's always automatic transplant. I'm like, really? I don't break down with this leukemia. I'm strong. I've been strong. Oh, I started to cry. Marshall Jensen was in the room next to me. You look his case up. He's only 27 years old. Talk about the pioneer. We all died. Everybody in there died. You know, I says, tell me this. Are you from Southern Utah? Yeah, how'd you know? Something from the work. No. I says, everybody in there's from Southern Utah. The downfall. This ties in because the compensation bill was left out of this bill. Now, did Mike Lee get compensated? Mike Lee told me to my face, Kevin, we just found out my dad was a downwinder. Did he get money in the compensation bill? Why can't somebody dig that out and look? I'll get it. I'll find it. You know, my army, I've lost my army. You know, they've gone away because this is historic, important video. Really important. I've been really emotional. All night, I couldn't sleep. I saw this thing get through, and I thought it wasn't going to happen because these two creeps that put it up and these puppets, this Bill Gates fucking bill, there's no way if it was named what it was named, it would get through. It wouldn't get through. James Carville fucking is to blame for this. How? Why? Who took the Democratic Party, which was the party of environment, the anti-nuclear energy fucking party, the real party of labor, who fucking shredded that and turned it into James Carville's pink? It fucking stinks, and turned it into an imperialist, military-industrialized complex, pro-fucking poison the planet. James Carville did that. I just remember, I voted for Bernie both times. 2016 and 2020, did hundreds of videos telling you I was voting for Bernie. Bernie's an anti-nuclear. Bernie's old school. Bernie's the shit. And you sit and say, oh, well, Trump's a capitalist. Biden a fucking socialist. Biden's a fucking imperialist just like Trump. Trump and Biden are identical. Who created that? Now remember, in 2016, I stood right over here to vote for Bernie. 2 fucking blocks. I waited for 3.5 hours to vote. Bernie won in Utah 80-20. Bernie was just killing it here in 2016. I mean, killing it. Well, the whole country. Remember the DNC? Remember the coin flip in Iowa? 6 times around. I'm an old gambler. Well, I'm an old math. I'm an old stats guy. What's 6 times? That's called factorial. You know, 6 times 5 times 4. Let's see. Come on. What is that? You know, 108-1. I was at the White House in 2016 at the Peace Vigil. You know, I'm there. I'm wearing my Russian hat and my 2016. And I've got my Trump God, Clinton God, Trump God, Clinton God. Does it really matter? They're identical the same. And I'm screaming, the Russians have occupied the White House. They will never leave. Remember? Play back the tape you're on. Just 200 fucking views, 20 views. Why? Because you kettle me, I'll kettle you. Where's your fucking crown? Real quiet. They had the stage set up, Hillary's stage set up. And I'm like, people aren't going to vote for Hillary. Fucking, they were pissed. They were pissed. They voted for Bernie. Everybody knew that. So James Carville fucking, the whole orchestration of that fucking 2016 DNC was so fucking nasty. And I'm there for days before the election. The night of the election, I'm there. I'm standing right there with Filippo at the Peace Vigil. And it got real eerie. So they got a stage set up. You know, and they got these signs for Hillary. You could see the air starting to come out. Pretty soon they all start to leave. The results are coming in. It's getting late. It's getting late. The media is everywhere, and it's starting, and you could just see it. It's starting to happen, and everybody's clearing out. It got so eerie and quiet right there in front of the White House. It was fucking surreal as hell. You could hear the rats. You know, there's a lot of rats in fucking Foggy Bottom there. Fucking right there. You could hear them. It got that eerie. And then you could slowly hear through the crowd. These 2 kids had this sign. Oh, I should have said, I can't even post the sign. It's that vile. Young kids showed up. And there can't be 10 people there. Everybody's left and cleared out. And the chant's real quiet in the night. You fucked Bernie. You fucked Bernie. You fucked Bernie. The chant just went for hours. Finally, about 3:30 in the morning, I went down, got on the subway drop in the tube to go to the Union to take the bus into New York City. It's about 3:30 in the morning. That bus is getting ready to leave. 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. right around there. I get on there and there's a young woman. I'll never forget. I got to find this picture. I have it. There's a young woman, and it's her and I are the only ones. She's sitting on the subway. She's sitting right under the light on the subway there in D.C. She's just sobbing. She's just sobbing. And above her, I'm on the blue line, and the blue line's in pink. I'll never forget it. And I'm right there. I'm like, so I take it through the night, get on the bus, and I get there, and there's African-American women. They're all African-American women because that's the labor force in New York City. They live in D.C., a lot of them, and they come in and they make your beds, fucking clean your, I mean, and they arrive there at, 5:30, 6:30 a.m. So we drove through Philadelphia. The bus goes through that night. But before that, right there at the depot, I asked this woman, I'm like, everybody's like, oh, fuck, can you believe it? No. Remember, what was Trump, 7 or 8 or 9 to 1? But people refused to vote for Hillary. That's the facts are the facts. The electoral college she won Pennsylvania, the union vote said, fuck you, we're not voting for fucking another Clinton. We got screwed by him. Carville fucked us. I says, well, because Feinstein in Wisconsin was a fierce anti-nuclear energy, so I campaigned for him. My whole agenda was an anti-nuclear energy, the Fukushima cover-up. Well, he won. He was up by 7 points. No, he lost by several points. What? Because I didn't have a smartphone then. I had an iPad, and it was out of juice. So I take the bus, trying to plug in, get some power on my iPod on the bus. We get through Philly. The fires are breaking out all over. We get to the Jarvik Center, right where Hillary's going to break the guy. That's right where the buses dropped up. That's where I got on them. So I was staying in Brooklyn in those days. No sleep till Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. You got to fight for your right. Party. I used to know that dude, one of those guys, when he was teaching school in my Brooklyn days. No sleep till Brooklyn. Get to Brooklyn, talk about no sleep. I walk off, and the sun's just coming up Jarvik Center, and I go around the bells ringing on the cathedral. And the homeless are rounded up to get breakfast, flying around. I walk by it, it's so fucking eerie, and I walk over to 5th Avenue, and I'm like, holy fuck, what the? Giant piles of dirt, helicopters, it's a fucking war zone there. What the fuck? And then I got enough juice charged on the iPad, and then it was starting to work. And I walked over there, and I read, B is going to show who? The PM, the propped up, who was not PM, the Fukushima cover-up kingpin showing up to Trump Towers with a gold driver. What the fuck? Remember I did all those videos? They were shooting a film right there when I used to live right on Fort Greene. Remember I lived right there on Fort Greene. And I mean on Fulton Avenue, right there. Above Not Race. Remember that? Fuck, them were the days. All the activism. I never see anything. What the fuck's he doing? Fukushima cover-up. When he gets elected, the first thing in is Mar-a-Lago with Bob Kraft. Oh, now wait a minute. That creepy fucker. Why is Bob Kraft there? They blacked out the windows of Mar-a-Lago. There's a B and Trump, and they blacked out the windows for days. What do you think they're talking about? Their fucking high five on the guy? We know what happened to a B. Oh, I still don't believe it. I still do not fucking believe it. Remember I used to call him Want Everybody Want? Capital ABE? I'm like, James Carville did this. So we raced forward to 2000. Bernie would have won easily. He would have beat Trump by miles. Fucking everybody knows it. Anybody that has any fucking clue that knows how to read polls and knows how to think. How did I know that? Because my sign said Trumpgrad, Clintongrad, Trumpgrad. The Russians have occupied the White House. That will never see. Little good. Fucking, what are you talking about, meathead? Remember that Mr. We could use it. Man, remember all those videos for all those years? Fucking, for I can see for miles and miles and miles. Bernie would have won. Bernie would still be president today. You think this nuclear pork fucking bill would have got through? Oh, fuck no, it wouldn't have got through. Number one, the whole agenda would have been different. The president sets the agenda for his party. Trump runs the Republican Party. Biden is a Democratic Party. And Biden has always been a military industrialized fucking corporatist imperialist. He's never been fucking anything for the environment. Never. You know, you talk about the prison thing and the whole drug war on drugs. That's Biden. You know, right here, the Browning family, the Lidquist family right up there. That's who fucking, the Marcourts, all this people, this philanthropist right here. That's where their dime was. Human warehousing. The private prison system. The war profiteers, that's where they put their money. Biden was the guy who created that. Do you think there's a difference between Biden ain't no fucking socialist. Trump ain't no fucking capitalist. They're both imperialist bootlickers. They're Bill Gates puppets. This Bill's a Bill. There's a reason Bill Gates is on the Sunday morning fucking shows all fucking over. You think that's okay? He wrote the fucking bill. They're going to put fucking SMRs in Cameron, Wyoming. Well, who owns fucking that? Rocky Mount Power. Utah Power and Light is Rocky Mount Power. Rocky Mount Power is owned by who? Who? Oh, Warren Buffett. Remember when he come in and sold our school business? The number one school business in the fucking country. I was the guy there. I did the due diligence. I mean, you want to see my... I just fucking did all the due diligence on there at the number one school business in the fucking country. Beating Wharton, beating Harvard, I think back on the 90s, class of 96, the highest scores in exit score history, my class. I'm fucking the Bill Russell of that fucking... Still to this day, it's the highest... Elon Musk is going to Wharton at the same time. That's our sister school. We're beating them every year. And we're public boutique. And then Buffett comes in here and fucking... What'd you put in his tea, Dr. Cooley? Fucking Lee. Fucking Tim Chalvalmaist. I want to say this. I got so emotional. I don't fucking break down on this. And I really got emotional. I started to fucking cry. He says, yeah, they told us all about you. I'm the one that set the stage for this. Having rounds of chemo and not having a transplant. It was unheard of in 20. Unheard of. Remember, I had to do all that praying. And I said, I'm just going to go walk the coast of California, work with my dietitian, do my juice, and we're just going to try without a transplant. They're doing it all the time now. And they bring up your fucking name, every nurse in there. It's the same nurses. I was the pioneer, me and Brian Morris. I'm alive. I told him, well, took out my gallbladder, took out my teeth, took out my heart valve. I had open heart surgery twice. I'm having issues even still right now. But like Vincent Hansen, who was Thomas Blanch, the famous surgeon, right there, Ogden Clinic, this fucking historic, fucking sacred place. Kevin, when I'm a little boy, Thomas, don't you let them ever open you unless you're going to die. And he was a famous heart surgeon. Dr. Goff did the surgery on my heart, and he says, Kevin, I got in there, and he says, I remembered fucking your uncle's fucking heart on when I did. I said, that was fucking 25 years ago. He says, you had the same rip at the exact same place. That's why I bypassed here. I'm like, you remembered that? Yeah. Ogden High. He says, you're right. That valve was all clogged up, just like you were saying. Claudia told me to go fucking, it's neuropathy. Fucking Michael Hawkins at Ogden Regional Medical Center. Fucking, I got kicked off Medicaid right there when Bernie Sanders rally at the Trump. I asked Trump, I made Fox News. You gonna talk about Fukushima? Yes. Did he? He met with a bee 17 fucking times. He never fucking mentioned Fukushima one time. This whole path was altered and changed in 2016. Remember, I'd go to see Michael Hawkins over at Rocky Mountain Center, who was a chiropractor, by the way. I didn't know this at the time, but in Utah, you can represent at an emergency room that you're a doctor when you're not a doctor. Go see her, and he wouldn't treat me. Remember Mike Lee kicked me off Medicaid? I want to know, did he get any of the compensation downwinder? My dad's a downwinder, he told me. That fucking video should have hundreds of men. That's my video with he and I. So fucking believable. Their answer to kettle me, this fucking historic work, this bill goes through. This is the most fucking chicken shit bill in fucking congressional history. It's not named the Nuclear Pork fucking bill. They masquerade it in the Fire Grant Act. The fire, of course that's going to get through. What's that bill? That bill always goes through. That's for fire departments around the and paramedics around the country. Huh. And they sneak it in that? And so no media even knows. Nobody even knows. Nobody even knows the price energy. That's the fucking play, just like they did in 2005. When you're off When there were Saudi imperialists that did it. Remember Trump used to give his lectures about fucking Saudis, the imperialists in 9/11, and then he just dropped it when he became president? You know, all these promises he made. Then he was president for 4 fucking years. Biden's been president for almost 4 years. We've seen this fucking movie. 2 debtors from hell. This is James Carville's to blame. James Carville's fucking pink. It fucking stinks. James Carville did this. James Carville did this. James Carville turned the fucking Democratic Party into the imperialist fucking party. When they used to be the party of fucking environment and labor, they're not. They're so far removed. And the Republicans, remember when they're fiscal responsible? They were willing to downsize the military with fucking in the late 90s in order to get the fiscal house in fucking order. We're going to have to close military. Let's do it. And they did it. Remember we had a surplus in it? Fucking, who fucking ruined this fucking country? James Carville. Without James scumbag fucking Carville, who that fucker, I always knew he was a fucking fraud. Remember his rants? He would go against Bernie Sanders and go against the Democratic Party. Remember those where he just tear into Bernie? And remember, Bernie was so far ahead, and then all of a sudden, same with in 2020. Whoop! I got to dig out my Bernie fucking 2016. Bernie would have won in 2016. He'd still be president. This bill wouldn't have got through. None of this, the whole fucking Middle East of Eden pork, none of this would happen if Bernie would fucking be president. Because the president sets the political tone for the party. And they follow right along. Trump owns lock, stock, barrel fucking. The Republican Party's got line in for fucking to boot licking. And he's an imperialist fucking puppet. Biden, tell me the difference between Biden and fucking Trump. Oh, Biden's a socialist. Fuck, he's so far away from a fucking socialist. Trump's a capitalist. Neither one of them are capitalists. They're debtors. Fucking run debt from hell. Identical fucking debtors. Everything they have, maybe some, Operation Foxconn News or MSB political theater bullshit. They're identical. They're pro-military industrialized complex. They're fucking Bill Gates fucking puppets. Here's some more fucking. You think it's a coincidence Bill Gates goes on the Sunday morning fucking shows? I mean, I'm going to record this now. I don't care if it gets 12 fucking views. Who did this? 88-2, the Senate voted. Markey from Massachusetts, I love that guy. And before I even knew it, because they don't want to report, I said, it's got to be Bernie Sanders. Remember what he said about nuclear energy when he was running? Pull the fucking plug. Cut the umbilical cord. Price Anderson, well, they just extended it for 40 more years. Fucking, we have spent 80 years. This country is cut in the nuclear energy quicksand, and it's not clean. It's not fucking too cheap to me. It's the most expensive, nasty, filthy. Next time it says they're pro-nuclear, ask them about the centrifuge process. The uranium-238 that comes out of the earth that we turn into uranium-235, ask them about that process. Free radicals. You know what a free radical is? They don't split the atom. They collide it, smash it together, and it releases all these free radicals in their daughters, including plutonium. Fucking 3 full-blown that's burning into the fucking Pacific Ocean and fucking see no nuclear. Here I say, speak no energy, the nuclear energy emperor have no clothes. Carville's pink, it fucking stinks. James Carville's to blame for all this. For all this. Bernie fucking had it won. Bernie's an anti-nuclear. Big time anti-nuclear. He's the greatest fucking anti-nuclear politician in fucking decades. He voted against us. 88-2. I don't believe what I just saw. Wasn't that fucking Kirk Gibson on that home run? Fucking 88. It's the most chicken shit fucking bill in history. And he stayed on his side. These circles mean everything. I was so emotional. I walked over there. I had to go to the bank, and I went to the bank, and I'm like, doors are locked. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Juneteenth. I forgot. There he goes. The monarch just came to see me again. Just remember, I was given 2 months to live with ML de Novo with a marker for unsurvivable. And people are still telling me how to survive. I did it without a transplant. That guy, he looked pretty damn good too. I said, how's you feeling? He says, I'm feeling better every day, but I'm still, the chemo, whatever. And I says, yeah, it used to be protocol, automatic transplant. He says, yeah, I know. Everybody in there talks about you. You're famous in there. Yeah. Remember, I'd do my videos in the room and everybody get mad at me. Fucking brass would get pissed, and now they encourage you. want to say this to my great friend Marshall Jensen, to the great Carla Hennessy, Freer from Ogden, Kevin and Carla, Nancy Peterson, all those people that were in there with me who all died. I want to say this to Bernie and Ed. I love you two guys. And Tabby, she voted nay against it. You know, the congresswoman. For every single leukemia victim, including my father, including Hanukkah, for everyone who the nuclear energy crime scum, and if you don't think nuclear fallout gives people leukemia, we know factually the 2012 data is there. I don't eat, sleep, drink this. I don't do commentary. I lived in that bone marrow transplant. We're all from half the places from downwinder. I said, you're from southern Utah. And he says, how did you know? I says, everybody in there. And he says, yeah. And you know, I says, well, we call it the red dust. And he says, oh yeah, I'm a downwinder. Mike Lee. We just found out my dad's a downwinder. Mike Lee voted to not expand the compensation for downwinders. Did Mike Lee get fucking a check? I'll bet he did, because it goes to, I don't know. We need to find that out. I want to say this in the name of Marshall, in the name of Carla. I love fucking, I mean, I think about Carla every fucking day. Kevin and Carla. So beautiful, so incredible, fought so fucking hard. I remember come back walking the coast. I'm just going to walk the coast of California. You'll die out there. Yeah, I know. What a place to die. I remember Fimbo, Vincent Hansen here, saved my life. I've known you since you were a boy, Kevin. I wouldn't send anybody in there to fight this. You go in there and you fight and prove them wrong. I talked to him because I was going to go to the Mayo Clinic. I had money. My other uncle is head of, he's the neuro head. He said, no. I met a guy that survived from the Mayo Clinic down there too recently. You go in there and fight, Kevin. I've known you since you was a boy. If anybody can beat this, fucking strong as it's you. I talked him into taking you, Fimbo Peterson. And Fimbo come in there and he says, Kevin, you're the anti-nuclear, so am I. He says, listen, I remember he threw the newspaper down my bed one day. Look at this Blue Castle. They're over there in the Capitol. And he says, I'm quarantined. No, I'm writing you a pass. Here's 2 nurses. You go over there. I go over there with my central line, my ass hanging out, and I just fucking went off on him. Daggered him. Walked through Memory Grove every day. Couldn't even fucking walk. Weighed 119 pounds. No pigment in my eyes. Blister on my tongue. Going out of a fucking coma. I'm like this. So I don't think anybody has a fucking clue what those units are like. You know, I was just talking about it. No one has a clue what they're like. Remember, I invited anybody who wants to come in. He says, I'll let you have a filter. So Megan and Melissa, the 2 massage therapists, ex-pole swingers. Let's go, Kev. They would give me fucking fingertip massages, both of them. They went in there. They'll both tell you to this day. Kevin and Blanch changed our entire fucking lives. We spent the day in there. Seeing people sucked up to 70 pounds with no air, fighting their ass off. One woman. Remember the little girl from Chernobyl was in there when I did that with this thing hanging out of me from Femen. I'm the guy that talked Femen into going in there with that, the unit with the thing hanging off, bringing her out of the unit, holding up, killed by a piece of her nuclear energy. Remember? Google took him down, said fuck him. Because they were topless. Yeah. With a central line hanging out of their fucking jaw. I'm the one that talked him into it. Remember, I did that. Let's say this. For all the leukemia victims, including my father, who was nuclear death in Nevada test site, including Annika, who died from Ukraine, my partner in anti-nuclearism. She went 38. I've sat with a lot of them. Carla, incredible Marshall, Jensen. Dana. It's been an ugly, hard fucking fight. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you for standing up to these fuckers. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Tabby. The rest of you, I have some nuclear energy rue for you, which is called leukemia. And I have some for me. But you must wear yours with a difference. Of course, it's spite that I was ever born to set this right. The fact that I go into the bone marrow transplant 11/11. The compelling story. They squash, they hold down. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of fucking death. I fear no fucking evil in the nuclear industry. Bill Gates and clan are fucking evil. Carville's evil. He laid me down on the burned out fucking pastures of fucking Gorda. He anoint my fucking head with dead humpback fucking well, washed up, starved to death on the coast of California. He prepared a table in front of me. He comfort me. He guide me. For my cup overflow. Jim Carville turned the Democratic Party into the imperialist fucking bootlickers that they are. And the fiscal responsible GOP that used to be fucking give a shit. Who did that? Huh. Paul Wolfowitz, Bremer, Dick Cheney. Yeah. Dick Cheney giving fucking Democrats a standing ovation. Democrats giving him one of the greatest warmongering fucking evil people in fucking history. You remember the election of 2008? Obama, the biggest fraud in history, who claimed he was a peace activist, had 60 to 40. Yes, you heard me right. 60 senators, Democrat. 80-seat majority in Congress. He lost them all. What did he do? Him and Hillary. On the advice of James Carville. He turned them into the fucking corporatist fucking bootlickers. This bill would have never passed. Ever. Bernie. I voted. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for this fucking bill. Don't blame me when you get leukemia. Don't blame me. Don't blame we. Don't blame we from the sea, Kevin D. I fought for her. She fought for we. I voted for Bernie. So did everybody else. James fucking Carville. You're pink. It stinks. Stand tuned.